Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are breaking down Dr. Ahmad Rabai's comprehensive research on how artificial intelligence is literally reshaping the future of your work and your career. I'm thrilled to guide you through this because everywhere we look, the workplace is shifting right beneath our feet. We aren't just talking about some minor software update here. We're talking about a fundamental transformation in how we produce value. So get ready to take some mental notes.
Look, it's the elephant in the room, right? It's the question causing endless anxiety everywhere, and you've probably asked it yourself, is AI going to take my job? Well, today, we're completely reframing how you look at that. The short answer isn't a simple yes or no. The reality is far more nuanced, incredibly fascinating, and honestly packed with opportunity if you know how to navigate it. We're moving away from the panic and focusing purely on the practical.
To get us from fear to total empowerment, here's our game plan. We'll cover moving from jobs to tasks, 3 ways AI actually changes work, the hidden risks you need to watch out for, mastering AI literacy, and finally, your new career advantage. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, from jobs to tasks. We're going to dismantle the single biggest myth out there about AI in the workplace.
Think about how traditional work was organized for a second. It was all about these rigid, fixed job descriptions, repetitive procedures, and decision-making totally siloed into specific departments. But AI-enabled work, it completely shatters that mold. We're moving fast into a dynamic world built entirely around workflows, rapid experimentation, and continuous learning. The deep takeaway here is that AI forces us to change how we look at our day. We have to stop looking at jobs as one giant block and start zooming in on specific tasks.
Take a marketing analyst, for example. The role is made up of so many individual pieces. You collect customer data, build reports, write campaign summaries, interpret trends, recommend actions. It's a lot. AI might step in to automate collecting that data, or it might help draft an initial summary, but interpreting those complex trends, recommending what the business should actually do next, that is all you. It proves that entire jobs won't just vanish overnight. Instead, they're going to be redesigned, literally piece by piece, task by task.
So how exactly is this happening behind the scenes? Let's move to Section 2, 3 ways AI changes work.
AI's impact really boils down to 3 distinct buckets. First up is automation. That's AI doing a highly repetitive task with barely any human involvement, like matching invoices or flagging fraud. Second is augmentation. This is where AI acts as your superpowered assistant, maybe drafting a report for you, but you remain the ultimate responsible reviewer. And third, transformation. This is the holy grail, where AI actually unlocks completely new business models and workflows.
Morgan Stanley is a perfect example of this in action. In an industry that is incredibly knowledge-intensive, they brought in generative AI to help their financial advisors rapidly sift through absolute mountains of internal research and strategy notes. It cuts down the time spent digging through documents, so advisors can actually focus on preparing for client conversations. The AI acts as a high-powered knowledge assistant, but, and this is absolutely crucial, human trust, compliance, and strict review remain 100% essential.
Then you look at Klarna, the global payments network. They've been very public about using AI assistants to handle first-level customer service, providing 24/7 support and lightning-fast responses for things like returns and order tracking. This brilliantly illustrates transformation, but it forces a real balancing act. Companies have to weigh these massive efficiency gains against maintaining actual, high-quality human empathy. Because, let's be real, if an AI messes up a complex customer crisis, that frustration is incredibly damaging to a brand.
Now, it is not all sunshine and productivity graphs. There are some very serious traps here. Section 3, the hidden risks of AI.
Perhaps the most common trap of them all is over-reliance. This happens when employees start trusting the machine just a little too much. If you take anything away today, burn this golden rule into your memory. AI output must always be treated as a rough draft, never as the final truth. It is the absolute only way to avoid the dangerous, career-limiting trap of letting the machine do all your thinking.
Because if you just blindly trust it, you are opening yourself and your company up to a myriad of disasters. We're talking hallucinated facts, where the AI literally just makes things up. You might act on biased recommendations or completely botched calculations. Sometimes it bases its answers on super weak assumptions or totally outdated information. And the real kicker? AI systems are designed to sound incredibly authoritative. They will give you an answer that sounds 100% confident, but is objectively completely wrong.
And what's genuinely terrifying, especially if you're early in your career, is the concept of de-skilling.
This happens when you lean so heavily on AI that you actually stop developing your own core cognitive abilities. The AI becomes a crutch. Sure, it temporarily makes a weak worker look strong, but underneath, it is quietly creating massive, hidden skill gaps. If you rely on AI to write your arguments without learning how to structure one yourself, the skills you don't practice today become your fatal flaws tomorrow.
We also have to talk about the data itself. Because these systems learn from historical data, they can very easily reproduce or amplify past human biases in incredibly sensitive areas, like deciding who gets hired, who gets a loan, who gets a promotion, or even how shifts are scheduled. When you use these tools, AI governance isn't just a tech issue, it's an ethical one. The responsibility for checking that output and ensuring fairness falls directly on you.
So, how do we inoculate ourselves against all those risks? Section 4. Mastering AI literacy.
We need true AI literacy. And listen, this is no longer just an optional IT skill left for the software engineers, it is a fundamental business competency. You don't necessarily need to know how to code a neural network, but you absolutely must master evaluating and managing AI. It means understanding the mechanics, using the tools to boost your own productivity, questioning the outputs with a highly critical eye, and managing the risks responsibly.
This is incredibly urgent right now because AI is practically built to crush traditional entry-level tasks. Things like drafting emails, researching, summarizing documents, basic reporting. The stuff we used to use as a training ground, it is highly exposed to automation. Because of that, early career professionals and recent grads can no longer hide behind basic administrative work. You have to jump straight to developing higher value skills much earlier in your career.
It creates this whole new skills launchpad. Since the AI is crunching the basic data and doing the first draft, your career demands immediate mastery of higher-order human faculties. You need rigorous, critical thinking to evaluate the AI's logic. You need rock-solid business judgment to know which AI recommendations actually make sense in the real world. And you need top-tier human communication to persuade, lead, and collaborate with your team.
All right, let's bring this all together and see exactly how you can position yourself to win in this new era. Section 5. Your new career advantage.
First off, take a deep breath. Traditional roles are not dying out. They are receiving a massive, powerful upgrade. Look at how these roles transform. An accountant isn't replaced. They evolve into an analytics-based business advisor. An HR specialist becomes a workforce analytics partner. A marketer turns into an AI-assisted campaign strategist. It's a fundamental, exciting elevation of what we as humans actually get to focus on during the workday.
So if you take just one thing away from Dr. Rabaili's research in this explainer, make it this. The future career advantage is not AI versus humans. You are not competing against a machine. You are competing against other professionals who know how to wield that machine better than you do. The winners are going to be the humans who can collaborate effectively with AI to absolutely supercharge their own output.
I want to leave you with this final thought. It is time for a total mindset shift. Stop asking out of fear if AI is going to take your job. Instead, look at your daily workflow right now and start asking a much more powerful question. How can I redesign my workflow using these incredibly powerful tools to become utterly indispensable tomorrow? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll leave you with this. As AI continues to reshape our entire world, will you be the professional being managed by algorithms or the one using them to manage the future?